one of the top experts in the world on sales.
King of collaboration.
He's on the cutting edge, and what he does works.
Jim Padilla.
CEO of Gain the Edge.
He is the leader when it comes to sales and conversions.
A sales and business coach to some of the biggest names in the country.
Jim Padilla is known as the go-to guy for all things sales.
All right. We got it going on. A little bit of technical difficulties. Welcome. Make More Sales people. Welcome to the Make More Sales podcast. Jim and Cindy here today with our Jim and Cindy live show. And I'm just super pumped that you're here. Today is kicking off second month of 2021. We're already 1/12 of the way through the year, which is just crazy to even think about. And we're always moving through some of the key components, some of our core moves to make more sales without getting better at selling, because I believe it is a real thing. You do not have to master the art of being a sales guru. You just have to get really smart at structuring your world in such a way that people show up wanting to buy. They know how to find you. They know what to expect when they find you. You get to have the right conversations with the right people at the right time about the right things, and that is what leads to conversions. That's it. It's that simple. And everything we teach is in service to that. So glad that you're here. Make sure that you have us a rate, review, and subscribe. Please make sure that you subscribe so you know that when the next episodes are coming, because we're actually going to be turning up the volume and increasing some episodes. We're doing a lot more trainings and a lot more interviews coming up. And make sure if you're in the Facebook group and if you're watching live, put hashtag live. If you're watching on the recording, please hit hashtag recording. And then the other hashtag that I want you to make sure that you're dialed into is hashtag ask Jim. You got a question, you got some feedback, you want us to know you need something or have a response that you really want, same put hashtag ask Jim, and we'll reach out. We'll get your question answered and or get you on the calendar with me or a team, whatever we need to do to help you get your problem solved. So in the next few minutes, we're simply going to talk about one simple concept in service to making more sales without becoming better at selling. And it's simple. It may be the hardest thing to do as a human, not as a salesperson, but as a human, is telling the truth unapologetically. Tell the truth unapologetically. Bringing truth into the sales perspective, bringing truth into your conversations, right? And why we talk about that, right? And, first thing I would love to know from you is, do you think if you had to evaluate yourself, you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you never tell the truth, you're just a dirty, rotten scoundrel liar, and 10 being you tell the truth all the time about everything to everyone, no matter what the circumstance. Where are you on that spectrum? Where are you on that spectrum? You tell the truth most of the time. Do you try to tell the truth, but you find yourself sometimes in a situation where it just doesn't fit, or it doesn't feel like it would be in service to, or it might hurt somebody's feelings, etc. Right? So in general, in life, 1 to 10. What do you say? Right? And then the other piece where I want you to evaluate yourself there is on a scale of 1 to 10 in the sales game as an expert, as a sales expert, as somebody who is in conversion conversations, how you rate yourself on that same scale of 1 to 10. Is it different in real life than it is in the sales conversation? Okay. 1 meaning you're a dirty, rotten scoundrel liar. 10 being you are Jesus, you are Mother Teresa, you don't ever lie, right? About anything to anyone. Okay, think about this. Now, anyone also includes you, also includes yourself, right? One of the biggest challenges that I do see in the sales game is we lie to ourselves often. That's usually the biggest place that we lie. We don't tell ourselves the total truth. We don't tell ourselves the total truth of what's possible. We don't tell ourselves the total truth of what's at stake for us if we don't pursue this powerfully and passionately. We don't tell ourselves the truth of what is at stake for the potential client, so that when they say something, it's easy for us to buy it, right? There's a lot of things. This conversation, I could do a 3-day seminar on just this topic. Okay. But one of the key components that we have to think about is when you're not clearly connected to the truth of what's at stake for them, to the truth of what you can do for them. If you know you can solve people's problems, but you're not going all out to ensure that they understand that under no circumstances should they leave this conversation without getting to the truth of the matter, to the heart of the matter, then you are going to be susceptible to buying their lies. And the only way you do that is by lying to yourself, because now you're lowering the bar for the standard of excellence. You're lowering the bar for what you know you should be sharing to people in the truth. Okay, so here's something to think about. Just write this down. Feel free to type it in the chat. Just know, what are the areas that people don't tell you the truth? What are the areas that people don't lie, or the people lie to you? Maybe how bad their problem really is. Maybe how much they're willing to tolerate. Right? Because sometimes people will say, well, I can't do this any longer. I'm fed up with this problem and I need to solve it. And the truth of the matter is they're really not done dealing with the problem. Because when you have that level of commitment, you will move heaven and earth to figure out where you can come up with a solution. When you don't have that level of commitment, you'll tolerate excuses. And again, from ourselves, this is from the buyer's perspective. Okay, so they'll say, I'm all in, I got to do this, right? But their words don't match their actions. And we, in service to not being pushy, not being bossy, not being sleazy, slimy, manipulative, all of the whatever you fill in the blanks, we are not in service to their greater good. We are in service to not being in conflict, not being confrontational, not being uncomfortable. And so as a result, we will let them buy their lie instead of doing what you know you need to do because you are the expert of the problem that they have. And you know that you can help them solve it. And you know that based on what they have shared with you, that you know that solution may not be as far away as they think. But instead, you back off, you hold back, you withhold the truth because you feel like it's going to earn you an ally. And the truth of the matter is, anybody who is not in service to my greater good is not my ally. Right? Are you? What are the areas that your people typically lie to you? What are the areas that they don't come all in? You know, and you have to think about that, right? People often will challenge themselves, or I should say, maybe don't challenge themselves in ways that they should, because we don't want to look stupid. We don't want to look incomplete. I remember, I spent years in mortgage, right? And I can't tell you how many people didn't maybe totally understand the package offer, amortization rates, depreciation schedules, adjustments, prepay penalties. There's a lot of things that go on that the average person just does not understand to any level of depth. And rather than saying, hey, I don't get it, the smallest percentage of people, I learned after a couple of years in mortgage that I had to stop waiting for them to ask. I felt like because they didn't ask, they must have understood. And then because they didn't understand, then oftentimes they'd ended up backing out of the deal when it got difficult. So I started learning how to explain terms simply and clearly so that they would understand why and how this is a great decision. Right? But what I recognized was that people didn't ask because they didn't want to appear stupid. They didn't want to appear incompetent around money. Who the heck wants somebody thinking, I don't know anything about money? And if they ask a question or don't know how to ask the question, then they feel like they'll be judged, or even if they just judge themselves, what kind of idiot doesn't know what an amortization schedule is? Why should I ask that question? Right? And so when you allow people the room to lie to themselves, then you're liable, right? The way I feel it, you are liable. You are being irresponsible as the expert of their problem, when you need to figure out what are those things that they will shortchange themselves on, and how do you build that into the process so that it lifts them up automatically and it elevates them in the process, right? You have that for your industry. Everybody has that, your own area of expertise. What are the things that people lie to you about their level of commitment, about their readiness to solve the problem? All of those things, right? So once you know that, then you can start building that in. You can start asking those questions ahead of time, right? Figure out what are the things that they lie to you about. Be clear about what are the things you're not telling yourself the truth about, like how great you are at what you do, how long you've been doing it, how you are best in class. Just because you don't have the same track record as maybe a competitor does, or you don't have the same revenue or business size or anything, any of the comparison checklists that we run through, right? You have to know that you are your own element of badassery, and you have to be able to own it. And when you do, you can speak to it and you can speak from it. Right? That is all part of telling the truth. If I'm best in class at what I do and I don't tell you that, then I am not telling the truth both to myself or to you. Right? That's a problem. I don't like that. I can't like that. That is unacceptable. Right? I am great at what I do. Our company is great at what we do. We solve problems for people. We help people who focus on providing a better future for other people. We help you end inconsistent income. We help you generate predictable revenue by gaining control of your sales process, by showing up as the person, as the expert that people need, so that you can have the right conversations with the right people at the right time about the right things, so that you win in the game of sales, so that you become in control of your environment and in control of your outcome, instead of letting the industry decide what the success of your business is going to be. Right? And when you do that, you're too busy chasing clients all the time instead of chasing your dreams. We want you on the path to climbing that mountain, chasing your dreams, pursuing your mission, and not worried about where's your next chick going to come from, where's your next client going to come from, where's your next payday going to come from. That needs to be a thing of the past. Right? And we are fantastic at that. That is what we do. And I want you to be able to share about your area of expertise in the same frame all the time, from the mountaintops, unapologetically. Not brash. It's not about brash arrogance. It's about communicating to people who are looking for a solution. If I need a solution and I don't know where one exists or don't know where to find it, how am I going to get there? Right? So imagine that you have people out there that are praying for the solution that you provide. That means you are becoming the dream, the answer, to somebody's prayer, right? That's a real thing. If you don't believe that about yourself, well, then first of all, there's either some confusion and probably some lying going on, because you're not owning the level of expertise that you bring to this process. Okay. And many times that reassures the process. You don't have to worry about having some fancy sales scripted conversation. You need to be clear about how do you navigate people through the conversation of understanding that, guess what? When you work with me, you don't fail. When you work with me, you're never alone. When you work with me, the latest and greatest top level expertise about what's going on out there in this industry that will help you will come through me, because either we're working on it, we're on the front lines dealing with it with our clients, or we're bringing in other experts who will help serve you, right? But we are in this to make sure you don't lose. Period. You're paying us for speed. You're paying us for access. You're paying us to shorten the timeline and reduce the amount of mistakes, and to gain the support necessary, the accountability necessary to drive you to that mountaintop, so that you can win and stop chasing clients and start pursuing your dreams and start being in control of your outcomes, because you've mastered the art of sales and mastered the ability to structure your world in such a way that people show up ready to buy from you. Right? If that's something you're interested in, if it is, then again, type in hashtag Ask Jim, and our team will reach out to you and let's set up a conversation. I want to talk about where you're going in your business, what sales strategies you have in place. Simply put, where are you headed? Where are you now? And how do we navigate the gap in between? Because if you haven't figured out those solutions, you need to be talking about it right now. And if you're interested in what we're talking about, if this is resonating and you're still on this call, you're still listening to this podcast, then let us help you. Okay. If you're listening on the podcast, make sure that there's a link in the show notes. Click on it, set up a time, reach out and talk to us. If you haven't jumped into our Facebook group yet, right? Our business owners who scale and generate more revenue with live events and launches. It's a mouthful, but that's exactly what we do. Then click on that link, because it is also in the show notes, and that will bring you to our Facebook group where you can catch these podcast episodes, some of it live as we produce them here, and access to our team to ask these questions, right? You also have our email and contact and information. There's number of ways to reach out. The most important thing you need to do is to reach out. right? Reach out, get your questions answered. If you have any questions at all, it's pointless and fruitless for you to go to bed with those questions on your mind. Reach out, let us help you. Let us put your concerns to bed and show you that we can either help solve the problem for you or put you in a direction that you can get it solved yourself. Either way, we're here for you to win. Right. And that's, again, me telling you the truth. I could say, well, it's okay if you sign up. It's okay if you talk. It's okay if you don't. It's not okay if you don't. It's never okay for you to go to bed stressing out and trying to figure this stuff out. You need to get the help. You need to get the solutions. You need to get somebody to lean on that can help break through the frustration and the stuckness and get you to clarity. Okay. Again, write this down. Are you having the right conversations with the right people at the right time about the right things? Are your sales conversations easy? And I don't just mean the one you have every 30 days. Are you having them weekly? Are you having them daily? Are they simple? Do you navigate that powerfully and well? Are you doing a great job of getting those people to show up and have those conversations with you in the first place? If you've already got that, then you're winning. Then hoorah and good on you. And most likely, though, if you're listening to this, it's because you don't have that handled, and it's time that you do. So let us help you. Right. So I would love to know, what are the things that you now need to be, what's the truth you know you need to be telling? What's the truth you need to be telling? We just had a training call in our Peak Performance Network, just got off it. And one of the things we talked about was, what are you sharing with people? What do you need them to know about you in order for them to take the next step to want to find out more? And what do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? And what do you need them to know about themselves or about you that's going to lead them in that direction? If you can't answer those questions, you can answer the big ones. You got to get them there. It has to be about them taking the step, right? We want them winning long term, but they also have to focus on, what are they doing today to win in your world? Communicate that early and often. Post it in your on social media. Go live with it. Share videos around it. Right. I'm going to challenge you all right now. We're actually, here in the Facebook group. We're going to be going live every day this month. I'm going to do a video every single day this month talking about hooks, talking about messaging, trying to share things. We're doing a lot of testing. So anything that resonates with you in here, I want you to say, I want you to comment on it and let us know. If you got questions, anything you need questions about, put hashtag Ask Jim. Okay. We want to know if what we're saying resonates and is landing with you. And I want to encourage you, anybody who's any takers here, if you want to put it in the chat, say, hey, I'm down for this. A video a day for the month of February. Shortest month of the year, so there's only 28, not 31. Okay. But then we're going to turn that into opportunities. What are you doing? What kind of calls to actions? What are you putting out there? What hooks are you testing that are bringing people in, so that they can start wanting to find out more about you? And then you're literally being in action, and we can coach you through those actions. If you're just sitting back hoping and praying, I can't coach you through anything, right? You be in action, we can help fix it. We can help solve it. We can help you win at this game. And that's all I want for you. So let me know what's landing for you. Let me know your thoughts around this. Please let me know, what are the truths you're going to start telling now in your sales conversation. Truths about yourself, about the opportunities you create, about the solutions you provide, truths about the things that they're holding back on that you know are killing their opportunity for success, right? What are the things you're going to start sharing? I would love to hear that, right? And are you down for a video a day in February? Let's just rock this. Let's get you, by the end of February, you will be dialed in on your hooks. You'll know exactly what you need to say to get people to move forward with you, right? I want to see that happen. Right. So thank you so much, as always, for the opportunity to be part of your success team. Cindy and I we are running a challenge coming up here on 15th of February that we're going to be moving you through. It's going to be how to fill your events with profitable partnerships. Okay, partnership strategies to fill your events. If you're struggling to fill your events, we've got the cure for what ails you. We got the strategy to make that work. And it's exactly what we do to fill our events, right? It's a 5-day challenge coming up. So if you're interested in that, please put a comment in the notes. Say yes, say hashtag challenge, and I'm in for that. If you're listening on the podcast, go to the show notes. There'll be a link in there for you to register and jump in and take advantage of this, so we can start changing that game for you. All right. As always, totally appreciate you. You're a rock star. The fact that you're here trying to gain infinite, more knowledge and improve yourself is what it takes. That's how you separate yourself from the masses, and you just take massive action and trust that you're moving in the right direction. Right. And we're here to guide you and help you along the way. Let's go make some more sales.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Make More Sales podcast. If you like what you're hearing, you'll definitely want to check out our Make More Sales Facebook group, where you'll find more amazing content, including free sales training and live content happening every single week. So make sure to follow the link below to join. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show, and share it with your friends. That way, more people can learn how to make more sales without getting better at selling. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.